Right, we're just moments away from kick-off here at Oadby Town. The players are on their way out here and they get welcomed by the cheerleaders. Let's go to Adam and Tom for commentary of this game.
Here ahead of the men's game. The women's won 1-0 on penalties in their fixture, and the men are looking for a similar scoreline in theirs. Here they come now, and DMU will be hoping to make it their third consecutive varsity victory over their biggest rivals. DMU were playing their normal red kit tonight, whereas University of Leicester will be in their usual green shirts and white shorts. I'm going to run you through that starting 11 for DMU once again. In goal, Joe Clearson. At the back, Joe Taylor, Josh Solomon and Luke Taylor in this 3-5-2 formation. The five in midfield, just in front of that back three, is captain and manager Geraint Price, and in midfield, Tom Wilson, Josh Hunt, Dan Winnie and Hayden Clotley, and leading the attack, Nathan Sludome and Ralph Clark. And for the University of Leicester this evening, in goal, Robert Ikodo. At the back, Rob Kane, Tom Cole, Sam Hobson, Keita Komichi. In midfield, Alex Wood, Adrian Arsenor, Harry Balfour, Daniel Akina and Jod Woodcock. And in the attack, John Doyle, Harry Painter and Matt Bilby. Joining me today for this fixture, same as last year, Tom Everest. Good evening, Tom.
Good evening, Adam. I'm delighted to be here and alongside you beneath these stars watching this football. Couldn't dream of any better place to be on a Monday night, and hopefully they serve up a good game of football for us to watch today, mate.
As ever, you can get in contact with us on Twitter this evening, at Demon FM, at Demon Sport. Please do get in contact with us, and also we apologise for any language you may hear this evening. So to the action, it cannot be helped. So we do apologise for that language, as both teams are now in their huddles prior to kick-off. And Tom, what are your thoughts on who can win this team?
I think, as we touched upon in the studio before all afternoon, it can go any way, this contest. In a way, it's a cup tie, it's a varsity game. Spirits, emotions run high, as you can tell, with all the masses of support from both sides. DMU have taken hostage, if you would, of the main stand, and Leicester Union are decided on the left to sprawl around the rest of the pitch. So DMU are very vocal and vast numbers of support, and that could be a pivotal factor this afternoon in this inaugural DMU varsity tie.
We weren't sure how many people were going to come down this evening, but it's a cracking turnout, especially from Montfort University, who have, as you say, taken over that main stand here, which is probably about four seats back, wouldn't you say, Tom? A bit different to the King Power.
It is a bit different to the King Power, but we touched on it before again. It serves to be a better atmosphere down. It's a bit more non-league. Players are closer to the pitch, whereas King Power Stadium, which is a 30,000 almost Premier League standard stadium, and you get a bit lost in the atmosphere with 3,000 fans. But here we've got 2,000 fans close to the action, right on the pitch, and it's going to serve to be a great atmosphere, and hopefully the players can serve us a great game.
Well, Leicester Uni have had the bragging rights in the league this season. Montfort University unfortunately relegated from the division this year. They will be hoping to avenge their recent performances against the Leicester Uni and claim victory here tonight, and their third consecutive varsity victory.
Yeah, that'd be massive. DMU can't think about that. They've got to think about this. What's a one-off game for them? They've been relegated, so they've got nothing else to lose. They've just got to throw everything into this game. And the way they lined up, the boys look strong at this. I think it's the strongest team Geraint Price could have possibly named. With the 3-5-2, obviously a bit more compact. You've got Geraint himself holding. You've got Dan Winnie sitting in front. So they go very compact. But in this formation, 3-5-2, as I touched on before in the pitch earlier, it asks a lot of the wing backs in this situation, which is Joe Taylor and Hayden Clark. They've got a lot of work to do going back down forward, Dad.
We go to Montfort University versus the University of Leicester, the annual football varsity between these two rival universities. And it's to Montfort University kicking from right to left in their red strip, and the University of Leicester from left to right in their green strip and white shorts. And Montfort University get off on attack straight away down this left side. And Ralph Clark dispossessed there, and the University of Leicester have a throw-in.
Yeah, it's a very good shape DMU have operated early on. The 3-5-2 has allowed the wingers, as I touched on, to push up really tight. And they're penning them in early on into the deep in the right-hand corner here for Leicester University. With Nathan Studham dropping into the left-hand side and Joe Taylor pushing up. They've really got an option to really pen them in early doors and make a great threat early in this game.
So it's another throw-in here for the University of Leicester on this near side. DMU looking to pen them in early on and thrown down the line, won by Joe Taylor. Good header there.
Yeah, DMU still continue to pen them in here as Leicester United trying to switch the play, but Hayden Clotty conceides a foul on the halfway line, and Leicester can regroup and regather their forces. DMU have been quite on the front foot, penning them in, early pressure. They're in a Southampton-esque kit, Adam, and they started this game in the Southampton tempo, pushing high up the pitch.
Yes, they are. We're looking to continue to do that in these early stages of this game. Just looking through the Leicester University lineup, a few players on this side we remember from last year. Tom, Alex Wood in goal, John Woodcock. A chance here for University of Leicester with Keita Kamichi, but it's pushed out now in clears up towards Ralph Clark. And a well cleared there by Leicester Uni, and it's thrown to DMU in the left back position. And yeah, a few players in this team we recognise: John Woodcock, Adrian Asino, Adam Akini, Jack Lyons. A few players there from last year, and we didn't really put up a threat against Montfort University.
No, last year it was all over before it began. Really, Leicester University didn't turn up, but they would have gained a lot from that. I said it before on the show, like it's an old football cliche, but you learn much more in defeat than you do in a win. So they've got the experience, whereas if you look at many of the DMU lads here today, many of them haven't played it in this sort of stage before. So it'd be interesting. It's almost the inexperienced versus the experience, but the way DMU have started looked much brighter, and the way they've come out with such panache and eager and tenacity, I think they're struggling, their students, to really cope with that, especially with the DMU faithful as well getting on their backs. They're all serving up to be a good start for DMU.
I'm going to say it's a very energetic start from the Montfort University, and they have the throw-in again now with captain Garen Price. Plays it out to Luke Taylor, who's a fresher this year, who's come into the side and done a very good job for them.
Yeah, he's done really well all season. It's massive for him as well. To be a fresher, it takes a massive achievement to be a fresh and straight blood into the first team, especially for a varsity like this. He'll love to do well. He's got 2 more years ahead of him, for this. So he'll love this spectacle tonight. But I think the way they've lined up, I touched before the 3-5-2. We're a bit sceptical perhaps at the start of the game, but I think the way it's set up, Garen Price operating as a sweeper, so always got one man extra at the back. But the free midfield also packs the midfield. At the minute, Leicester United struggle to get into their attacking impetus, and again, Ralph's conceded throwing high at the pitch for DMU, but they're penning them in, Adam.
Yes, they are, and it's great work right there from Ralph Clark up front. A player who wasn't the third team at the beginning of the season, made his way up to the seconds, and now he's got himself a first team start. Yeah,
that's massive. That's unprecedented. You don't really hear about often in university football, but he's fully deserving to be there. Look at the stature of him. He's a big lad. He will offer a massive focal point up front for DMU.
And here come University Leicester on the attack, but it's well intercepted by Dan Winnie, and it's come down this left-hand side, just in front of us. Played back number 3, Daniel Akini. The University Leicester get it going quickly again. Lyons playing it forward with a cracking diagonal. Kane, who holds it up nicely, whips it in with his left foot. His side, a great play there by Kane. Diagonal ball played over the lines, and he controls it first time, forced a little bit wide, does whip one in and wins his side.
Yeah, that was a very tense moment for DMU there, but Hayden Clotty covered well and is operating in his wing-back position to concede a corner, and it's the first opportunity for Leicester University to put a bit of pressure on Joe Clausen in the goal for DMU.
Some University Leicester fans here coming behind us. As we say, we do apologise for any language you may hear this evening on 107.5 Demon FM. As the corner comes in, and a great chance there. There's number 6, Harry Balfour, up from centre half. Ball came back, and he flicked it narrowly wide, Tom.
Yeah, it was a fantastic delivery, and Joe Clausen was swamped with people in front of him, players. He couldn't get out, so he had to drop at the back post. And he struggled to get a touch at any more of a contact on that, and that surely would have nested into the far post. That's an early scare for DMU, but they're getting the break as Tom Wilson wins a free kick just in front of us down below us here, and DMU can start an attack once again.
Free kick to the Montfort University just in front of us here, and Solomon taking it, plays a nice ball into the middle of the parcel with Josh Hunt, maybe a bit too far, and Leicester United intercept, but Garen Price clears it, fires it at the chest, the number 11, Rob Kane there, and Price again heads it. And a few players are getting a bit agitated, aren't they?
Yeah, I think the atmosphere is spilling over from the pitch from the crowd onto the pitch a little bit. A few feisty tackles, missed words there. Tom Wilson goes in there. Tom Wilson that. Josh Solomon should not be playing the free kick there. He's got it on his own, just inside his own half. He's trying to switch to play. He's playing it with such height that Joe Taylor can't do anything with that ball when he receives it. He put DMU under unnecessary pressure there, and Leicester University win another free kick.
Tom Wilson with a very late challenge there, and concedes a free kick to the University of Leicester just on the halfway line. And a chance to put the ball into the box again. And it's interesting, Tom, that on every opportunity, University of Leicester are bringing both their centre-halves forward.
They're bringing both centre-halves forward, and DMU only keeping one up. So they're almost encouraging that. They're almost bringing it upon themselves as this free kick goes in, and Dan Winnie heads away.
Here's number 7, Sam Hobson, trying to whip one to the pops, and he's sliced it after a goal kick.
Sliced it. I want to see that one again. But Joe Klassen, look at the energy. Joe Klassen trying to get the ball back out of DMU.
Short one played by Josh Solomon, and it's a free kick to Montfort University in their own half, just outside the penalty area. They will be taking this one now, trying to get it over towards halfway towards the strike partnership of Nathan Studholme, the club chairman, and Ralph Clark, who have already mentioned this game. It's Ralph Clark now using that stature up front to hold the ball up, but he doesn't do it this time. Dan Winnie intercepts. Nice little bit of trickery, tries to play it wide to the far side to Hayden Clotley, but doesn't quite make it.
That was the right idea for when he got his head up, went to switch the play, which was a bit short, but it was the right idea. That's what DMU needs to do. It's a wide pitch, need to stretch the Leicester University team.
Good tackle from Tom Wilson there, very energetic in the middle of the park, and he's hurrying back now to try and make a tackle as Jack Lyons plays a nice ball through to Rob Kane. Chance to shoot, side netting.
Hayden Clotley there in the right full-back position. He's got dragged in too soon, and he left a massive hole in the back, which Leicester Uni could infiltrate, and they almost capitalised there. But Joe Klassen watched it haplessly go into a side netting, and he takes a goal kick here for DMU.
It's Joe Clayson here now with the goal kick once again for Montfort University, being penned in their own half here. A high foot there, the University of Leicester midfielder. Tom Wilson normally got his head taken.
Tom Wilson has taken a bit of a batter in the first open exchanges here, FM, but he's the type of player that loves it. He'll be up for the fight. He's going to look after himself on the pitch, and it's been a very hotly anticipated and hotly disputed start to the game, don't you think, Adam?
Yeah, it has very agitated players in the opening 10 minutes here of the varsity fixture between Montfort University and University of Leicester. And in a minute, it could go either way, but University of Leicester are really penning DMU in their own half. But here is Josh Solomon in the middle of the park towards Dan Winnie, looking to play it out left with Joe Taylor out wide, and Dan Winnie's not seen him. Fired one across the roof of the clubhouse.
He's done well there, despite the final shot from me. He's got his foot up again, he's ran at him, and he's created a yard for himself. And it opened up for the first shot of the game, and he was very unlucky not to do so.
How important is it today that Joe Taylor gets down on this left-hand side and really makes an impact as a fullback?
Yeah, we touched on it before. We're also in the Southampton system where the fullbacks are vitally important. Look at Southampton, you make parallels to them between Nathaniel Klein and Luke Shaw. The fullbacks have got a massive work rate on them today. Massive onus for them to get forward, but also protect the back three, because if you don't protect the back three, you'll be extremely vulnerable. But in the 4-4-2, classic 4-4-2 formation that Leicester University operating, the fullbacks are even more fruitful. They can create and infiltrate those spaces down the wings.
Great pace there from Nathan Studholme and his left-hand side, but he can't quite keep the ball in. And the University of Leicester have a thrower deep in their own half.
That's what they've got to do, Adam. They've got to explore those avenues down the width, because they're going to have 2 against 1 pretty much every time. And they've started to do that early, but a bit wasteful possession at time for DMU. Here goes Joe Taylor down the left.
And here comes University of Leicester, but Josh Solomon clears there. And University of Leicester will be penning their half now. Great challenge in the middle of the park there from Josh Hunt. Plays it out wide to Ralph Clark on his left-hand side. Tries to beat his man. Great challenge in the middle of the box. And University of Leicester clear up towards Keita Kamichi here. Uses pace, turns back. Looks towards the middle of the park, plays another diagonal. A great ball out to Rob Kane, who's one-on-one, takes it first time. A great effort, just over the bar. Another diagonal ball played there from Keita Kamichi. Picks out Rob Kane, who's been a threat twice in this game. Fired just over the bar.
I don't know about you, but Joe Klassen looked extremely confident in that DMU goal. And for me, I certainly had a squeaky bum there. I don't know about you, but I thought that was sneaking in. But Joe Klassen seemed confident. He had his arms up in the air, and it sailed over the bar only narrowly. But that was a very close call for DMU.
There's a netting behind both goals here at Oadby Town. And to me, I thought it had hit the back of the net, but it hadn't. It hit the netting just behind the goal. But it was narrowly over from Rob Kane for University of Leicester. Remains 0-0 here in the annual varsity fixture. Just 15 minutes gone. As ever, you can get in contact on Twitter at DemonFM, at Demon Sport, as the Montfort University now come on the attack. University of Leicester pick it up. Case Kamichi again.
He's found a lot of space here.
Tries to the back with Tom Wilson, harries him. Made him turn back there. Plays it back into the middle of the park to Jack Lyons. Jack Lyons looks up, plays a nice ball into the striker, Robert Agbedo, who takes a shot. Great effort. Stings the hands of Joe Clearson, but quite safe in the end.
Yeah, I think the midfield for DMU have lost their way in the last couple of minutes. They are shirking their defensive duties by pressing throughout the pitch. If they all press as unit, they're left a bit vulnerable at the back. But it was a very speculative effort that Joe Clearson did extremely well to keep hold of there, Adam.
Luke Taylor clears there. University of Leicester calling the attack. Speaking of Joe, fourth team in his first year. Fourth team again, manager in his second year, and has now made his way up to the first team. Great achievement for Joe.
Some would say a fairy tale, Adam, really. You can only dream of that. You go fourth team, then goes to the first team, but he's really rewarding. He's a massive part of the DMU in the social side and in the football side, and he's probably rewarding of his position. He's just shown in the first two saves of the game, handled them with great aplomb, didn't spill anything, didn't give any scraps to Leicester Union. That's great. It breeds great confidence to a back four. You know, centre back yourself, Adam. You've got a keeper behind you, doesn't show any spills, very commanding, he's very vocal on the pitch. It breeds confidence throughout the back four.
So yeah, Joe Clearson in the first team this year. Case Kamichi with a long distance effort. Safe for Joe Clearson. Yeah, Joe's worked well, hasn't he? And then got himself in the first team due to injury to first team regular Ryan Dawson. Made one appearance for them, had a great game, and he's been there ever since.
That's what you've got to do. You've got to capitalise on your performances when you get into the team. And that's what the players have got to do. They've all been rewarded with a start today, and they've all got to capitalise on that. And they seem to be doing so. They all seem really up to the fight. Obviously, Garen Price has said a few home truths maybe with the season. They got relegated, and he's probably turned that into his favour going into today, as they all seem extremely confident and fired up for this.
Robert Igbedo there, losing his footing, but keeps on with the ball. Nice little run inside from Jack Woodcock. Fires it at Case Kamichi, and Dan Winnie picks it up. Chance to play it wide, but he doesn't look. He's picked his head up. Could he lose it here? No, he holds onto it very nicely. Comes wide. There's a nice ball into Josh.
Extremely well there, under pressure with his back to goal, facing his own goal, harried by two players. He's had the intelligence, the nonchalant little drop of the shoulder, and he's got it moving again for DMU on the attack.
Josh Solomon down the side, needs to get back now. It's a nice little turn there from Robert Igbedo, who plays it out wide here to Sam Hobson, and the ball ran out of play just as Sam Hobson looks to play it back inside to Igbedo. So Joe Taylor now with a throw in down the line towards Ralph Clark. Suspicion of a push in the back there, but no, referees play on, and Josh Hunt picks it up just in front of the back four.
I think DMU have been a bit too hasty at it with they're trying to turn defensive attack too quickly. I think they've just got to calm down. They've got good ball players in the middle of the park, and Tom Wilson, Dan Winnie. They need to get them on the ball. They really need to start infiltrating and start picking holes in this Leicester Union defence.
Started off to see that DMU were playing a 3-5-2, but it seems to have gone back into a 4-4-2 now. Garen Price has slipped in a right back, where it looks to be a back three to start.
It's almost gone into a 3-4-3, Adam, really. Hayden Clark is still pushing that right.
Got to stop you there, Tom. Nathan Studholme almost snatched in there. Ralph Clark with a chance to whip it into the box. He does. Nathan Studholme, the acrobatic, and get there. Just going for a volley and hits it completely.
That could have been
University of Leicester clear.
Some kind of Lionel Messi reconstruction, but in the end it was a bit more like Benny Hill, Redfern, where the back post, Nathan Studholme had a chance to score, but he missed it, and then Hayden Clark had an even better chance with complete pressure and strike.
A great challenge from Tom Wilson. Ralph Clark picks it up. Nathan Studholme can't quite get hold of it. It would have been nice if he had done. He'd have been one-on-one with the keeper, but here come University of Leicester again. This Case Kamichi, number 10 for University of Leicester, is causing all kinds of problems.
Yeah, he's playing. He's almost been given his own free run in the team, almost in like the Wham Matter role, if you like. Just given, he's obviously got enough about him to operate wherever he's going. He's stopping behind the striker, and he's picking up holes. He's picking up pockets. He had a few long-range efforts that have troubled Joe Clearson, but he looks a very good player. I think he could be one of the key players in this Varsity 2014. Adam.
A few players getting agitated there amongst themselves, but DMU have won themselves a throw-in on this near side, just in front of us. Joe Taylor to take it. Joe Taylor is third year in the first team here at Montfort University at left back. Won 2 varsities previous and looking for his third tonight. Yeah,
a veteran. You need those voices, members in the team. Him and Garen Price won 2 before. They've been King Power, and they've been there, done that. And Joe Taylor's a great workhorse. You can see that he's tracking back now, and he'll be vitally important tonight if DMU can scrape a win.
Great challenge there from Joe Taylor. Cruncher, that's what we like to see. And it's again showing the rivalry between these two sides.
I think he felt that one a little bit, but he didn't want to dent his pride. He's carried on in typical DMU fashion. He's taken an early throw, and Dan Winnie sets up another attack for DMU, but it fades out and Leicester Uni regain possession just inside their own half.
So University of Leicester with possession again. Kane on the far left-hand side plays it back in the halfway to Jack Lyons, just in front of that back four, and he's playing a fine game. Another diagonal ball out here towards Daniel Akini. Can't quite get there.
Yeah, similar to Nicholson in the women's game, he's operating in the deep line playmaker role for Leicester Union. He's spraying the ball about, reminiscent of Andrea Pirlo without the beard or the luscious Italian looks. But he's certainly operating on the field. He's doing really well. He's finding a lot of space. But potentially one of the three DMU central midfielders have to push on further up the pitch to deal with that threat.
Nice battle in there between Lyons and Clark. Clark's causing all problems for DMU. His big unit, and he's really causing the UOL problems, as is Hayden Clotley, who is placed down that right as he wins UOL a DMU a throw-in over the far left-hand side.
They've got great dynamism up front for DMU. They've got the Nathan Stone and the craft. He plays on the shoulder. And they've got the Hayden Clotley, just the sheer pace. And then you touch upon Ralph Clark with his power, the target man. So they've got three very good options, different options, which contribute to great dynamism for DMU up front.
Doesn't pay off as they'll pen Leicester and Alex Wood now to take the goal kick for the University of Leicester after that short spell of possession from the
Yeah, DMU going back into this game, they had a bit of 5 minutes under the cosh a little bit. A few efforts that troubled Joe Class in the DMU goal, but they've regained their form. As you said, they have operated to almost a back five at the minute. When they lose possession, to a 5, as you normally see in the 3-5-2 formation. And it's really worked for them. They look solid at the back. They've really regained some composure and position in the last 5 to 10 minutes. DMU win the ball back again through Dan Winnie, looks to spread the play. And DMU set up another attack from right to left.
Got a few tweets in. Courtney Page listening tonight. She says, come on the DMU boys. Say, do get in contact with us this evening on Twitter at Demon Sport and at Demon FM. We will give you a shout out, so please do tweet in.
Hayden Clotley with an early
Nice
ball in.
There from Clotley. Can't quite on the end of it. Pushes Joe Taylor back out towards the left. It's a nice ball back to Solomon. The bobbly pitch is really playing it at the minute, isn't it, Tom?
Yeah, the bobbly pitch is really contributing. If you don't get good early touch of the ball, it will run away from you. I think the women had that problems in the first game, and the DMU men are certainly having that problems. But DMU are really looking strong with a whip. Hayden Clotley, he's hugging that right untouched line, and that's what they need to give a bit of shape and strength. He's got a lot of pace to burn, and he's got that left back on toast if he really wants him to. But he's hugging that right untouched, and then they need that. They need that for the shape, and they need that to protect the back three at the same time.
Luke Taylor with a fine header there, number 5, who's been ever present in the DMU first team back line this season. And it had, challenge, a bit of a rash challenge there from Hayden Clotley, from Rob Kane. Another one of them, he could probably see himself in the book, but he loses out this time. Ref has a quiet word, but a chance now for John Woodcock, the left back, to whip a ball to the box in a very dangerous position. Yeah,
I think he let him off, but that was the first real bad tackle of the game that we've seen. I think he's had a quiet word with him, telling him to calm it down. You don't want the spirits of the fans and the hostility of the fans to spill onto the pitch, but it might have happened there. But it was a late tackle, it wasn't malicious, it was just a late tackle, but it's a great opportunity for Leicester University, just on the edge of the box, to whip in a fantastic ball. If they do whip in a good ball, then it could be trouble stations.
Kate Kamichi with this one, a low whip into the box, Joe Clearson claims.
Sometimes those the crosses that weren't the best cross, but it stumbled, it bobbled into the front post. They're normally horrible ones for the keepers. You get strikers running in front of him, defenders getting in his way, but he played that very well, very strong, and he rolls it out short to Garrett Price, who goes long looking for Nathan Studholm. Great touch.
Great touch from Nathan Studholm, looking to play that wide. Joe Taylor makes a run on the left back. Nathan Studholm tries to find him. Joe Taylor picks it up. Great interception, and he battles well there with the back line. Jack Lyons with a chance to bring it out now. But Dan Winnie intercepts. Charges down this left wing.
Great
throw in deep in the UL half. A chance here for DMU.
Dan Winnie's been the one that has found the dangers, and he picked them up, and he's driving DMU forward at every opportunity, and he's infiltrating down this left-hand side.
Bit of a wasteful throw in there from Joe Taylor. Clear, Luke Taylor again with a fine header back towards the UOL back line. Dan Winnie tries to battle, but it's great play here from Igbodo, the striker. Nice pace.
Great tackle.
Luke Taylor's in there with a cracking challenge. And I've heard he's got man of the match on pretty much all of DMU's first team's games.
What, Luke Taylor?
He has, yeah.
Well, I think he's an early contender for the one today. He has put in 3 or 4 monstrous tackles. He subdued any threat from the studio. It's very hard playing in the back 3 if you're a centre back sometimes, because if you're playing 2 up front at Leicester Uni, there's always one spare all the time. If you're playing an orthodox 4-4-2, you normally have each man marker, but he's the one who's almost there to claim everything, almost like a Vincent Company. He'll go out and win everything, and the centre backs around him will sweep everything alongside him.
Thought Tom Wilson would play wide on this wing. I don't know if he actually is, but he's drifting quite away into the middle here, and he's looks as though he's using up quite a lot of his energy on. But here's Harry Kane, chance for Igbodo, scores! University of Leicester take the lead. You cannot get hold of the ball in the middle of the... Rob Kane through to Robert Igbodo, and he fights home his right foot. Left of Joe Clayson, 1-0 UOL.
Yeah, he couldn't really miss Adam. It came from this right-hand side. Joe Taylor's been left isolated, as you just touched upon. Tom Wilson's coming inside, and he's trying little avenue, he's trying to burn up his energy. Although he's trying to be very boisterous and doing well for the team, he's almost been a hindrance in the sense that he's left them isolated down the right. They come in the right, played a great ball through, and Igbodo has finished out a great aplomb, Adam. He got his head up, and he looked so assured, he looked never in doubt, and slightly against the run of play perhaps, but Leicester University lead 1-0 in this 2014 football Varsity.
With DMU that in such a tight area there, Igbodo, the goal scorer, had so much space to pick his spot and find the bottom corner.
They'll be extremely disappointed, I think, with the space they had down the right before they got into that space. I think the whole point of every 3-5-2 is the wing backs got tight, so you don't let any space in those areas. But once they got in that area, one straight ball took it through all of them, which is extremely disappointing to see. But it's interesting to see how they bounce back from there. They can't let it get to them, obviously. But it's a very bitter pill to swallow when DMU was starting to grow in stature in the game, man.
So 25 minutes in here at Oadby Town Football Club, Freeway Park, as it's known. A bit of a hostile atmosphere, unlike the King Power Stadium, which has witnessed the varsity fixture in previous years. But at Oadby Town it is this year, and DMU are down 1-0 to University of Leicester through that goal from Robert Igbodo on 23 minutes. And it's University of Leicester 1, DMU 0. As ever, you can get in contact with us, so at Demon Sport and at Demon FM. So please do. And we do apologise for any swearing you may hear this evening. We are live, close to the pitch, and really hope it can be tough.
No, we can't, I'm afraid, Alan. But they all serve to be a great atmosphere. So the fans are playing their part there in this fantastic occasion, which the both universities come together, and albeit a rivalry, but I like to say a friendly rivalry.
Here's Josh Solomon, trying to beat his man, but doesn't. And there's the goal scorer, Igbodo. Finds Jack Lyons, and tries to find Rob Kane again. But this time, Gareth
really
Price
well
picks it out, but only just. As Price now gambles on a ball over the top. Closes down the goalkeeper. Doesn't get there. He's going to get back now.
That's what DMU have got to do. They've got to push high at the pitch. Gareth Price is trying to push his team up to create more space and put Leicester University on the back burner, which they haven't been able to do for the past 5 minutes. But Leicester Uni are starting to control this game, exert a bit of force, but that's not to the detriment of the work rate of DMU, as Tom Wilson is displaying just in front of us as he's tracking back.
I mentioned him already, but how good a game is Jack Lyons having just in front of that back four for you, Robert?
Yeah, I touched on it before, almost playing that Perlo role where he's literally just taking touches, doing the simple things, but doing it quickly and efficiently, playing the ball forward. And he's reaping the rewards of that. Hopefully DMU can operate the same thing with Dan Winnie. He's trying it, as he's displayed here today. And he's played a great ball down the line for Ralph Clark, who puts him under pressure. And he's won a throw-in deep into the Leicester University half.
Throw-in now to DMU. I'm just looking at my watch, Tom. We've been out here for over 6 hours now, which has proved the scale of Demon FM's coverage of Varsity this year and how much effort is going into everyone involved.
Yeah, everyone's done really well today. Obviously, all the tech guys, everything set up, we have a massive thank you for them. But also all to the listeners and all to everyone involved, getting involved in social media, that make our show so enjoyable to us. We get a lot of good feedback and we get a lot of good rapport with people listening. So it's a massive thank you to everyone involved tonight. It's a massive spectacle. It's a pleasure for me, and obviously I suppose it's for you as well to report live in these games.
It is the second year in a row for me and Tom, and a fantastic occasion, and we're really privileged to be involved. And a audacious effort there from Jack Woodcock. Joe Clearson saves. Yeah, as I say, it's a great privilege to be involved in such a great occasion at DMU. And to keep up to date with all the varsity throughout the varsity season, do follow us on Twitter at Demon Sport, and do keep up to date with all the coverage throughout the week on there, and also our coverage of the basketball this Saturday. Big Bodo again with a chance. Can he score again? Big Bodo takes his time, and he scored again. Robert Igbodo, he had the ball at his feet, couldn't quite get a shot away, but he toe pokes one home. Joe Clearson gets a hand on it, but it trickles into the net. And UOL are now 2-0 up in this varsity fixture after half an hour.
DMU will be scratching their heads because they've had most of the possession. They haven't really infiltrated many attacks, but they've had most of the possession, look relatively comfortable with the ball. But Leicester University have had 2 chances, he's taken them with great aplomb. He stood off Solomon there at the DMU. He was the last man back, but he was standing off so deep, kept pushing deeper and deeper, and he invited him on, and he finished with great aplomb again. Joe Clearson got fingertips over it, was not enough strong enough hand to keep it out. It's game on now for DMU.
So DMU are going to have to pick themselves up now from 2 goals down. We do apologise for any swearing you may hear on Demon FM. We are live. We can't help what's going on. We do apologise for that, if you did hear what was just said. But UOL now lead 2-0, and there's some disgruntled fans around, isn't there, Tom?
Yeah, it's disgruntled fans. It's quite unlucky on DMU. They haven't really done anything wrong as such. I think defending at times they've been a bit lackadaisical. They've got to push up a bit more, get in their faces. Where Solomon there just stood off. He just stood off and invited him on. And he struck to finish it well. There's a bit of a scuffle down here as Tom Wilson gets involved with Leicester University's front.
Some unsavoury scenes here on this near touchline. There's a few players are getting agitated.
Yeah, Wilson and Kamichi had a little scuffle there, but Kamichi not doing anything to defuse the situation by ironically clapping to his fans to antagonise the crowd, which is not really the most cleverest thing to do in this atmosphere between 2 rival universities. But
so 2-0, half an hour gone. DMU need to get themselves back into this, but with UOL in possession, it's not looking likely.
They just got to compose themselves, Adam. They've just got to go again. They've got to get in a half, perhaps still at 2-0, and compose themselves to go again. All it takes is to get 1 goal back and they're right back in this fixture, and they're full capable of doing so.
Another diagonal ball played there, up towards Kane. And again, Kane gets round the back, and a chance to score. It could easily be 3-0.
It's that right-hand side. The Montfort University defence has caused all kinds of problems. Gant Price is tucking in too far, and Hayden Clotty's too wide, so we've got a massive gap, which Leicester University infiltrating. They're having a lot of fun down that right-hand side for them, Adam.
Here's Clotley trying to get on the attack for DMU. Ralph Clott plays it inside to Josh Hunt. Maybe a chance. Out wide to Joe Taylor on this left-hand side. He picks it up. What can he do? Puts back inside. Well dealt with there by UOL. The free kick's been given. Don't know what that was for, Tom, do you?
I think he's got the UOL right back got his body between the ball and Joe Taylor, and he just worked it, and the referee brought it. He's got a free kick there, but.
It's proven a bit dangerous. Almost fell off it there, Tom.
I didn't think I was scared of heights, Adam, but I've come up here and I can't say I've been too comfortable. When the wind gets up, not only does it ruin a quiff, Adam, but almost it ruins the scaffolding. I get a bit shaky legs.
So yeah, if you suddenly don't hear my voice, I've took a tumble. And I do apologise if that happens. But as for now, I'm still standing, as Sir Elton John would say. And we continue with commentary
John's a
of
football
this.
fan, obviously, as well, of course. Being former owner of Watford, he would love to be down here, I'm sure, watching a fantastic game of football, because he is himself a massive football fan. But we'll see how many more Elton John quotes you can slip into commentary tonight, Adam. I'll be looking out for him.
I'll see what I can do for you, Tom. Penning DMU in their half again. Josh Solomon dives in for a challenge.
Yeah,
and number 7 there, Sam Hobson, makes a fool of him.
Yeah, petulance from Solomon.
Ball played in, Kane, great save, Joe Clearson. Sam Hobson ball in from the right, the second opportunity, and a header from Rob Kane at the far back post. Headed it into the ground, as you should do. And Clearson got down well and parried it just in front of him.
Yeah, he's read the rule book there, Adam. If he had a header, always head it down, and it almost scraped through the legs of Joe Clearson. He done well to hold it, but the way it goes, DMU just going to get to half-time, Adam. They've got to regroup. A few heads have dropped out there. They're losing a lot of continuity in their play. They just got to get to half-time. Only go in the second half, it'll be 2-1 and right back in the fixture. But as it stands, they'll be lucky to go in at 2-0 at half-time.
DMU are getting very sloppy. Joe Clayson rolls out and tries to come out of the back with it, and he loses it. And UOL now have a free kick, and again, another very dangerous.
He was up against it as soon as Joe Clayson rolled the ball out to him with his back to goal. He had 3 players straight around him. Leicester University hounded him extremely well because they can sense. They've got a bit between the teeth, Leicester, and they can sense DMU a bit vulnerable, and they're playing on that. And as it stands, as I said before, DMU with facing another free kick to the defend, they're very lucky to still be in this game at 2-0.
So there's a bit of a break in the play here. As can't quite see his number on his back. I'm not sure who it is. I think it may be it's Tom Cole. I think number 8 on the slight injury. The physio's not on. Back onto his feet, and you are welcome now with this free kick into the area again. Majority of DMU players back, wary of the threat from University of Leicester. Joe Taylor's clearance is...
That's got to be a foul.
No, maybe not. And DMU tried to clear, but it's back out to number 6. Harry Beaufort up from the back. Nice little bit of trickery there from Woodcock.
Yeah, Leicester University, whenever they attack, they look like they're going to score. But for once, the referee has awarded a free kick for DMU. And they look to compose themselves, gain a little bit of time. They've got to get out the pitch as well, Adam, at the minute. As it stands, the back 3 are pushing really deep. It's not a very long pitch as it is, but they're sitting quite deep. And it's leaving Raoul Clark and Stardom extremely isolated up front.
DMU trying to get themselves back into this game. And a great challenge there from Nathan Studholme. Tom Wilson pounced on the ball and finds Studholme. Wilson makes the run forward. Chance to play it forward. He finds him. Across comes the centre off Harry Beaufort, and he does very well and he wins the solid goal kick. Very well there from the centre off Beaufort, University of Leicester.
Yeah, he was very assured there. He came across, sniffed out the danger, and then won himself, his team, a goal kick. But DMU got pushed further from the pitch, Adam. They're already 2-0 down as it stands. They've got 3 at the back, marking 1 man. The wing-backs aren't getting involved in the game. Tom Wilson is coming in too narrow, and he's got to keep the width like Hayden Potty doing the right-hand side. If they do that, when they go forward at times, DMU look dangerous, and they cause problems when they have gone forward. They just need to get their head up and believe in themselves. They all know they can play, and they should really start getting the ball down, get it wide, and they'll see rewards.
10 minutes left in this first half. The varsity fixture, University of Leicester and DMU. And here comes Igbodo again. Maybe chance for his hat-trick. And well dealt with there by Josh Solomon, who now plays it out towards the right. Finds Hayden Clotley. Holds it up well. Looks in towards the middle of the park, but it's a wasteful pass. And Hobson picks it up. Nice little bit of trickery again. Can he pick out a pass? He can't, so he takes a shot. Great effort, narrowly wide.
Again, Joe Clayson looked extremely confident that was going wide. I was not so sure again. He did rightly so, just whispered it wide. But Hayden Clotley, they had the ball, he had acres to run into. But I think it's maybe perhaps a player's short of confidence that he didn't take the ball on, run at them. Instead, he tried to do a switch the play, and it was a horrible ball, bobbled across the pitch. And it set up another Leicester University attack. But Joe Clayson takes a goal kick for DMU with just over 5 minutes left in this half.
DMU players warming up, possibly changes at half-time.
Perhaps, yeah. There's no reason why he wouldn't change it, because the players on the pitch perhaps haven't done anything to warrant staying on the pitch as yet. But Nathan Studholme, he wins the ball back, great tenacity.
Well played by Nathan Studholme, keeps it in just. Plays a nice ball through to Dan Winnie. Can he get there? Balfour comes across again, but he wins inside a corner on this left-hand side. Nice little well play there from DMU down this left.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for DMU to get back in the game here. They got to the box. They bring everyone forward by Joe Taylor at the back. Right on half-time, it's an ideal opportunity to score, as we all know in football. If you get a goal before half-time, that just shapes the whole game completely differently. So hopefully, they can get something to score on.
Josh Hunt to whip this one in from the right-hand side. Right footed in swinger. And it comes in right underneath the goalkeeper. Chance! Can't quite get his head on it. It's cleared off the line by UOL defender. Still bobbling around in the box, but it's ran through for a goal kick. A great opportunity there for DMU to get themselves right back into this game.
Yeah, Gareth Price looked all sure to get his head on that. It was a great delivery, absolutely pitch, right under the goalkeeper's nose, but he didn't have the whereabouts to come out and claim it. It was a great opportunity for DMU, possibly the best chance of the game. That would have been an ideal way to go into the second half, like getting it back at goal. That much revitalised DMU back into action a little bit, Adam.
Well, we'll see the rest of this first half pans out, but it's nearing half time now here at the Bay Park. And Ralph Clark, running there, tries to pick the ball up for DMU, but oh my wow, what a audacious challenge there. Dan Winnie swung his foot through it and almost kicked the defender in the head, which was rather unorthodox. But well dealt with him by Belfort at the back of the University of Leicester. And it's a throw-in to UOL, it's near side. Joe Taylor appeals for a throw-in, doesn't get it, and Jack Lyons gets us back over a diagonal ball towards the left back, John Woodcock. Plays it forward to Kane, who's caused a lot of problems for DMU down that side. And a great challenge there by Luke Taylor, who plays it out over the stand again. Lost the ball, Tom.
We have lost another one. I've been very impressed with the number of balls we had on display today, Adam. I think they must have got a bulk buy deal, so it's lucky they did, because we've had about double figures, I think, today, and we've lost balls today. But thankfully, Oadby Town have prepared us extremely well for all eventualities.
I think they need to get the multi-ball system in place here at Oadby Town. I don't know what they've been playing at, but we're having to call a ball over every 2 minutes when we lose the ball. But thank you very much for Oadby for letting the game be played here today and for allowing us to do this coverage. We're bringing you live on 107.5 Demon FM and on the www.demonfm.co.uk. And here's Jack Lyons, the play in the middle of the park. Kamichi with a chance to shoot, well blocked there by Luke Taylor, and it's gone out for a throw-in on the far side for UOL.
Again, Luke Taylor getting a vital block in there for DMU. He's really led by example today at the back. He's the only one, I'd say, in the DMU back four can really be proud of his performances in the first half of this game. He's done really well. He's led the line. He's come out and won everything that he possibly can.
Then when you're looking to break there, but a fantastic challenge from Adrian Asino at the back. And as I remember, he had a very good game last season as well.
Yeah, he did have a very good game last season until infamously Endo scored 2 goals to end their hopes and win the varsity for DMU. We'll be missing out him again tonight, because he was a very, very important player. He was held at the ball extremely well, 2-footed, great pace and power. They'll be missing him today, but DMU needs to do the simple things right this half before they can start worrying about putting the ball in there. They need to get the foot back in the ball, Dan Winnie infiltrating the plays, needs to keep the width. Tom Wilson is again evaded inside, he needs to keep the width out here, and then they'll start finding rewards in this game.
So UOL have the ball at the back, playing it out from the back, as most sides do these days. And Keita Kamichi using his pace again. Josh Sullivan deals with it well, but Keita Kamichi picks it back up again, chance to shoot. What's he going to do here on his right foot? Oh, tries to bend it past Joe Clayson. But again, a fantastic block from Luke. And Wilson picks it up, plays a long ball over the top towards Ralph Clark. Adrian Asino picks it out. Ralph Clark wins it back. Oh, Nathan Stone made the run, but couldn't quite get there. And just getting very, very excited.
Yeah, Chris this is a new side of Chris Bear on the scene. It's quite an aggressive side.
Nice ball into the ball. Oh, great block
Luke Taylor
by Luke Taylor. Oh,
he
there
came
again, Luke Taylor. He makes the first block in the box, clears it, and then charges out and makes a second block. As we were saying, Chris Smith is getting very excited to the right of us.
Irate.
And different side to, we've not really seen this before. Really getting into the fixture. And we'll try and get his opinion at half-time. So DMU with a throw-in over the far side with manager Gareth Price. Ralph Clark uses his strength, but Nathan Stone can't hold the ball up. And the DMU players are getting a bit agitated with each other here. Not nice to see. They are 2-0 down.
No, it's the same problems arising, Adam. The back three are sitting far too deep. The midfield almost find themselves in no man's land. As soon as Lyons picks up the ball for University of Leicester, he's picking off the passes, 1-2 touch, and he's bypassing all 4 of them. And meanwhile, Stardom and Clark can have no continuity up front. They haven't had any time on the ball. They're running away from each other and running together. And they cast a forlorn side in a minute, Adam, and they really need to regroup at half-time.
minutes to half-time then here at Freeway Park in Oadby. And it's University of Leicester 2 to Montfort University 0. And DMU will want to get back into this fixture as soon as possible. Preferably a goal before half-time, but I can't see where it's going to come from.
No, again, Tom Wilson hits a hopeful ball up to Nathan Studham. He's trying his hardest up there, but he's got no support whatsoever. He's very isolated. And again, DMU extremely deep in the pitch, but Tom Wilson has won it back and found Nathan Studham down this left-hand side.
Here's Dan Winnie. Nice little ball into Nathan Studham.
Tries
to find Winnie again, but intercepted.
Got to look wide there. Tom Wilson acres of space down this left
again,
side.
Picks out a diagonal ball towards the goal scorer, Robert Igbodo, and Garrett Price coolly nods it home into the hands of Joe Clayson.
Yeah, that was an opportunity for DMU down this left side, but Nathan Studham choose went inside rather than find Tom Wilson down this left-hand side. And they've said it again, I think they have to regroup at half-time. Maybe as a bit new, Adam, I'm starting to lose a feeling in my fingers and toes.
Tom, I'm wearing 2 pairs of socks and my feet are fine.
Why didn't you tell me this earlier? We could have arranged a double sock wearing day and I wouldn't have had this problem.
Should have had to, mate. Should have been thinking ahead of the ball. But I didn't bring a scarf and hat this evening, which I'm regretting now. But I will be wearing my gloves second half.
Is that breaking news? You'll be wearing gloves?
News.
Breaking news, Adam Redfern will be wearing his gloves in the second half, and hopefully Montfort University can avenge his 2-0 deficit as Ralph Clark pushes up the field, but he loses possession again, unless University on another attack.
Here comes University of Leicester again, with number 8, Tom Cole, who started to get him into the game this after quite a quiet start from the centre midfielder. But here's Case Kamichi, plays it into Jack Lyons in the centre. Nice little ball up to the striker, Rob Kane. Holds it off Luke Taylor nicely. Here's Igbodo in the far corner. Been held up by Garrett Price. He dives in. He shouldn't have really done that there, but Hayden Clotley gets back and puts it out for a corner. Garrett Price shouldn't really be diving in there.
He dived
and
in.
Harry and Rob Kane turns his man and almost whips the ball into the box.
He turns his man with great applause. He just tucks inside, complete Megs right in the corner when there seemed to be nothing on. And he's won his team another corner going to the dying embers of his first half. And you could probably say, Adam, if they concede here with this corner deep into the end of the first half, it could be lights out, game over. Oh, fantastic claim from Joe Clash with a corner kick, and he releases Taylor down this left-hand side, and Tom Wilson has got a lot of space to run into.
Taylor plays it up towards Tom Wilson, and it's come off. Kamichi has it. It has DMU throw-in on this left-hand side, just in front of us, in front of the UOL dugout, where they've got quite a few players in their dugout, coaches, staff.
They've only named 3 substitutes on the bench, so I don't know where this array, this posse they've assembled below us. But
obviously, I like that. But yeah, Joe Taylor. And Kamichi picks the ball up, plays a nice ball into Cole. Again, finds Kane out wide. A nice little ball there. And Kane, oh, great challenge there for Garrett Price. But Kane wins it again. Cuts back inside nicely. Here's Cole. Kamichi, will he shoot? No,
fantastic
Josh Hunt will win the ball. Well played there by Hunt. But again, gives it straight back to Yoel. Wasteful from Josh Hunt. But Joe Taylor can now break for DMU on this left. Jack Lyons comes across. Joe Taylor picks out Ralph Clark. Cuts back.
Oh,
brilliantly from Clark. It's the middle. Cuts back again. It's the box, but nobody there.
That's the problem. We've got 4 at the back here. We've got 3 central midfielders sitting extremely deep. And the problem with DMU, when on the ball, they've only got 1 option. Whereas Leicester University have got a multitude of options.
And there we have it. Half time here at Freeway Park. And not a great start for the Montfort University in the first half. They are trail 0 to the University of Leicester. Disappointing from Montfort University. They were hoping to get back the game in the second half. But disappointing from DMU. They trail 2-0 to OL. And we'll have half-time analysis now from Amit in the studio.